Pernida, the being that I always considered one of the cute characters, adding a special charm to Yuaba's royal guards, but in episode 34, that cute mask will be removed, revealing Pernida's true identity. Pernida in fact none other than the Soul King's left hand, a hand that controls progress, a hand that considers itself a Quincy, and one with a loyalty different from Mimihagi's. This episode also guys unveiled another layer of the mad genius Mayuri's abilities and highlighted some significant things he said, which we'll discuss guys in this video, along with other important information about Uru Ishida. So this episode focused on the battle between Mayuri and Pernida, with a short but surprising scenes of Lilivaru aiming his rifle at Uru. And it turns out that it's not just Hirschfeld watching Uru from a distance, but Lilivaru as well. And this raises an important question guys. Are these individual actions from the Royal Guards? For example, Lilivaru, as the leader of the Royal Guards, still doesn't trust Uru and expects him to betray them at any moment, and Hirschfeld does the same thing. Or are these orders from Yuhaba from them to monitor Uru's every move? Personally, I don't think that's the case. Instead, it seems like logical behavior from the Royal Guards towards Uru, who only recently joined them, and some of them might even know his full background. Like Hirschfeld, who knows Uru's mother died because of Yuhaba. Thus, they might suspect that Uru's true motive for joining them is to avenge his mother. On the other hand, this scene might give us another perspective on Uru's behavior. Knowing he is under constant surveillance, as I have mentioned in previous videos, it's possible that Uru's actions are calculated attempts to make the Royal Guards believe he is truly on their side by fighting the Shinigami seriously, but without killing any of them, though Rinju's injuries seem severe, and it's unclear who will treat him. And speaking about that, I wish we had seen Roki's action or reaction to Rinju's injury, especially since it was significant. But that didn't happen, unfortunately. Meanwhile guys, we finally learned the truth of Pernida's abilities during Zaraki's attack. It became clear that Zaraki's fighting style is ineffective against Pernida because the latter controls nerves, whether in living beings or even inanimate objects. As a result, ordinary combat is useless against it. And we saw why, by Zaraki losing an arm and also the nerves of his legs. However, Zaraki's actions weren't in vain. His sacrifice provided Mayuri with valuable information that allowed him to understand Pernida's abilities. And about that guys, we can say that Mayuri clearly understood the importance of keeping Zaraki alive, as his strength is crucial in the battle. Thus, Mayuri made the right decision to stop him using a new ability of his Zanpakuto. I think we hadn't seen it before. So the power of Mayuri's Zanpakuto now extend beyond paralyzing poison to include sound-based attacks. On that note guys, I want to highlight something about Mayuri. I think he's truly a sadist par excellence. I'm not just talking about how he defeats his enemies like the famous gruesome death of the Espada, which remains one of the most horrific in the anime, but I'm speaking about Mayuri's sadism extends to how he creates his techniques and treats his subordinates. Remember how he dealt with Nemo during his fight against Uru, or how he sacrificed some of his squad members. Now, when he activated the technique on Zaraki, he pressed his finger into Ashisugeji's eye, drawing blood, or when he sent out those human-headed ribbons that screamed in pain, or even his modified Bankai. Mayuri's new Bankai is truly exceptional, capable of evolving in real time during battles by sending all the information he gathers about the enemy to his Bankai, and this allows it to develop abilities that can counter their powers. But as I said, Mayuri's sadism extends even to the things closest to him, including his Bankai. I mean, the Bankai screams in pain just by air touching its body. That's why many say Orohara did the Goji 13 a favor by releasing Mayuri from prison and redirecting his madness for the greater good. And another detail guys I hadn't paid much attention to in the manga, but noticed it in the anime, is Mayuri's comment about the technique Rinkaku. He mentioned that true Quincy's might have a different name for it than the one used by Soken and his grandson Uru. And actually Mayuri's words now align with one of Kubo's answers about Quincy techniques that have Japanese names, like Kujaku and Ginri Kujaku. Kubo said these names were taken from documents belonging to the Ishida family and members who are Japanese Quincy's. And finally guys, now we have the true identity of Pernida, that it is the left hand of the Soul King. But I wish we knew how it separated from Yuaba's body. In the flashback between Ichibi and Yuaba in episode 24, Pernida was initially with Ichibi, who sacrificed it to seal Yuaba's almighty. Was Pernida always the left hand, considering itself a Quincy from the beginning, or did this transformation occur after it joined Yuaba? Because it seems possible that the left hand underwent brainwashing, making it believe it was merely a Quincy serving Yuaba. Especially since Mayuri called it the left hand of the Soul King, to which it replied, "That's not my name." So I wish we had seen how this transformation happened, especially since Pernida had those chains, hinting that it might have been imprisoned and rehabilitated. And beyond the power of Pernida, which is the power of nerves, Pernida's ability to evolve is also fascinating. As the left hand, its core trait is progress. At first, its voice sounded like a child's. Then it began speaking in broken words, and finally it spoke somewhat fluently. So this progress guys could even extend to its abilities. However, as you have seen, Mayuri's new Bankai ultimately had the upper hand. While the fight isn't over yet, Mayuri's strategy truly shines in battles against opponents like Pernida. Indeed guys, what do you think about the episode in general, about the fight, the CGI that you have seen? Did you like it? No, tell me why. And also, I think the next episode will be about Kyoraku's battle against Lilibar, which means maybe the flashback of Hirschfeld and Busby will be delayed. Some say that it would be in the last episode of this core, but who knows. Indeed guys, tell me what you think about this episode and see you in my next video.